What's up, everybody? Matt Lynch here, aka 1776 Films with a Z because S was taken, aka another YouTuber talking about electronic logging devices. Now, I've been using electronic logs for about 6 years now, and of course there's pros and cons with these. But here's my take on the electronic logging devices mandate from the FMCSA. But before we begin, what is an overall rundown of ELDs, as we'll call it? God, there are so many acronyms. FMCSA, ELD, AOBRDs, RODS, RTFM, and so on and so on. But the FMCSA, or Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, announced on December 10th, 2015 that ELDs, also known as electronic logging device, would be mandated. Fleets have until December 2017 to implement certified ELDs. Fleets with ELDs already installed have until December 2019 to ensure compliance with, quote, published specifications. I'm not quite entirely sure what published specifications is, but I'm sure they're working on that to let us know. From December 18th, 2017 through April 1st, 2018, drivers that aren't using ELDs but have paper logs will not be put out of service, but they will be written a citation. So what this means is by April 1st, technically April 2nd, if you don't have an electronic log, but you do have paper logs, you won't be put out of service. However, you will be written a ticket for not having an electronic log device in your truck. Now there's an interesting point here. There is an AOBRD, automatic onboard recorder device. And then there's an electronic logging device. Now, what are the differences? Well, really quickly, an AORBD, basically just an automatic onboard recorder device, just a regular truck recorder, gives date and time, engine hours, vehicle miles, drive times, locations, duty status, etc. An ELD does all of those things, but it identifies information on a driver or user, motor carrier, vehicle, including duty status, logging in and out, engine on and off, malfunctions, service, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit more, invasive. An AOBRD, I'll just say automatic. How about that? An automatic versus electronic. Stick with that. An automatic records locations during each change of duty status, and then it can be, locations can be entered manually. An ELD, or an electronic, automatically records when a change in duty status, 60-minute intervals while driving, when the engine's turned on and off, at the start and end of yard moves and personal conveyance. We'll get more into that later. And it has an accuracy within 1 mile when on-duty driving, within 10 miles when in personal conveyance. Basically, personal conveyance means, well, I'm done for the evening and I would like to go to Walmart, as an example. But I'm not driving my truck. I believe it has to have freight inside of it to be considered non-personal conveyance, so something like a bobtail. And then you're going to Walmart, that's personal conveyance, coming back, and then stopping for the evening. Again, I don't know most about this, about the ins and outs of the law. If you want to know more, I suggest going to fmcsa.gov, finding out more information about it. Like I said, I've been using these for 6 years now, and it's just the way of life for me. Now with an automatic, you can edit history. It records who made an edit and when, and it does not readily display edit history. Now I've had to have mine edited. My company doesn't allow us to edit our own logs, which is fine. But we have to tell them. I've had times where I've stayed on duty all night. I forgot to go off duty, and I've had to have those edited. Well, with electronics, it records who made an edit and when, and all edits require an annotation. Automatically recorded events cannot be changed, only annotated, and it readily displays edit history to DOT inspectors. So basically it's just more information about editing. That's fine. If you make an edit, okay, I get that. Sometimes things happen. We just need more annotation, is what the FMCSA is saying on edits. Driving time. For automatic, driving time can only be edited when attributed to the wrong driver. So basically, if you're team driving or you're training somebody, you can only edit a drive time if you forget to switch over to the other driver. Now under electronic, driving time cannot be edited under no circumstances. That does make sense to me because mistakes happen. So if you forget to switch, how does that well, that's pretty much self-explanatory. I don't need to go into details about that. So those are some of the basic differences between automatic onboard recorder devices and electronic logging device. So the FMCSA released a timeline of enforcement. March 2014, the FMCSA released its ELD proposal. December 10th, 2015, the FMCSA published its final ELD rule. December 18th, 2017, drivers using paper logs must switch to ELDs. And December 16th, 2019, drivers using AOBRDs must switch to ELDs. So basically, if you have an automatic logging device, you need to switch to the electronic logging device, which basically gives law enforcement more information about what you've been doing behind the wheel. Now, of course, all major big commercial motor vehicles must be equipped with either, right now, an automatic onboard recorder device or an electronic logging device. There are some exemptions to ELDs. Mostly it's agriculture, small box trucks, things of that nature. I just assume everyone here is just interested in regular 18-wheeler trucks under the 70-hour rule sort of thing. Now, like I was saying, personal conveyance. They haven't really, from what I've been reading, they haven't really decided on what personal conveyance will entail. But they do know that that's a big issue. You see, truck drivers are away from home. Truck drivers don't have ready access to cars or motorcycles or mopeds or rickshaws even. So how do they get around? The truck is the only thing we can use. When I was using paper logs, I would just log it under on duty, not driving. And I would travel, up to 15, 20 minutes. That's all I ever really needed. Go do my thing, come back to the trailer or whatever I was doing and go, sleep a berth on duty. Now that takes away from when your 10 hours start, but hey, you get to get stuff done. So again, I'm not sure exactly what they're going to be doing with that. And as far as that's concerned right now, the law is unchanged. So you can still use these for personal conveyance. How they're logged and whatnot, I'm unsure. I tried to find out information. If somebody knows, please put it in the comments section below. After you like, subscribe, comment, subscribe, like, and subscribe. Comment, like, subscribe, like. The FMCSA is quoted as saying, ELDs is intended to help create a safer work environment for drivers and make it easier and faster to accurately track, manage, and share records of duty status, or RODS, data. And it's also interesting to note that fleets can use smartphones and tablets as ELDs, as long as they meet FMCSA requirements. Now that's an interesting thing. Smartphones and tablets can be used to track these logs. Who's to say that these things can't be hacked? I don't know. Nor do I care to comment on that. Now, what are my thoughts on it? Not that anyone cares, but hey, here it is anyways. I'm going to shove it down your throat like the FMCSA is shoving this down our throat. Like I said, been using logs for 6 years now. And it's been okay. It's been good. Probably the biggest benefit is when I get pulled over, if I get pulled over, if I get stopped for an inspection, if I'm pulled into a weigh station, etc., I don't ever have to worry about my logs being correct. It keeps me from being overworked, okay? Now, I know some Billy Badass truckers out there like to drive 873 miles a day. I don't. After 11 hours of driving, I'm done for the day. I want to get in the back and watch YouTube videos and go to sleep. So it keeps employers, or my employer, which wouldn't happen, from forcing you to drive further to get to the destination. When I first started driving trucks, this happened to me on a couple occasions. Well, that needs to get there at such and such a time. Well, I don't have the hours to do that. Well, figure it out. But I don't have to do that now. I do my time, that's when I have to get it done. And I can work around that, and that's fine. Now, some of the downfalls of ELDs is if you need just a couple more minutes to get home, which I've needed, you can't. You're out of time, and that's it. You've got to really plan your time properly. There's been times where I've gotten back to the yard with 1 minute on my drive time, and I pushed myself. Maybe a little bit more than I should. I wasn't driving unsafe, but I would have liked to have stopped a couple more times for a bathroom break, for a coffee, etc., etc. But I didn't. I just pushed through so that I could get home. I like to be home more than I like to be in the truck. Now, I'm one of the fortunate people that get to be home often through the week. I'm really only out in the truck 3 nights a week at most. But for you other guys, maybe that's a little different. So that's the benefits of having paper logs. 15 minutes isn't really 15 minutes. 7 minutes is either 15 minutes or no minutes. 5 minutes could be either way. It's all in a 15-minute period. And you can sort of work around that a little bit. I always kept my logs very legal. Except one time, actually. I was in California, and somehow I did 713 miles in California, which has a speed limit of 55 miles an hour. Don't know what happened with my logs that day. I didn't purposely fudge them, but I just drove a lot further than I should have. But that was lesson learned. Look, to be frank, or Matt, electronic logs don't give you quite the freedom or the flexibility as paper logs do. The FMCSA keeps telling us over and over that this is going to increase safety, decrease deaths on the road, etc., etc. Now that may be true, but to the numbers that they're speaking, I don't know. See, this isn't the 80s anymore, where truck drivers are snorting crank and driving 1,000 miles at 90 miles an hour cross country in a single trip. It's not like that anymore. For the most part, truck drivers know the rules. If I'm tired, too tired to drive, I pull over and I have a nap and I get some sleep. Or I have 6 Red Bulls, whichever. Gives you wings. No matter my opinions, this is what's happening. We can't change it. It's Big Brother. It's people looking down on us. Things like knowing when we turn our ignitions on is just not necessary. But it is what it is. It's a part of being a truck driver. At the end of the day, yeah, it's not great for everyone. It does kind of suck sometimes for me personally. I just need a couple extra more minutes telling me when and when I can't drive. I don't feel that my livelihood is at risk here. I make a good living on electronic logs, and I understand the other side of the coin. But like I keep saying, there's no choice in this matter, is there? We just gotta knuckle up and buckle up. So there it is, guys. My, quote, opinion on the matter. Does it even matter? I don't think it does. I'm sure there's all kinds of truck driver YouTube videos out there telling them why this is wrong, why this is right. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We just have to do our best to dance around it. I'm just going to keep doing what I've always been doing. Going to work, driving my allotted time, delivering my allotted goods, and coming home in the allotted time so that I can be home and not think about work. Let me know what you think. Honestly, guys, I know YouTubers say that all the time. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But seriously, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this, good, bad, otherwise. Let me know. And as always, take care of yourselves and each other.